Hi boys and girls, this is Karen again. It's good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Today we are going to be doing another STEM activity, and this one will be super fun. It's been Easter a few weeks back, so I was trying to find ways to use up some of my eggs, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to make bouncy eggs. Cool, right? I'm pretty excited about it, and yes, they do actually bounce. I practiced ahead of time. I don't want to show you right now because I'm worried that the paper will pop it, but I will show you a bouncing egg later on in the video, okay? So, before we do the activity, I want to tell you a little bit about why this works. So in a chicken, because chickens make eggs, the first thing that is made in the egg is the yolk, so that yellow part in the middle, right? And as that part is being made, the chicken also has this thing in its body that makes something called calcium carbonate. Now that's a compound, which means that it's two elements coming together and binding and holding really close to each other. And this compound, calcium carbonate, makes little columns. They would kind of look like this, and they just go all the way around the egg and surround the egg. And right before the egg comes out of the chicken, all the calcium carbonate that's in its columns kind of crosses and crystallizes, is what we use the word for. So it crystallizes and they bind together, which is why the eggshell is a little bit hard, but not hard enough that we can't break it, right? So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to find something that will break the bond between the crystallized calcium carbonate, so that the only thing left on our egg will be the membrane that surrounds all of the liquidy stuff inside. So the things that you will need for this activity are a vase or a cup or a bowl, if that's what you have. I'm using this vase because it's see-through, so I can see what's happening to the egg. The next thing you'll need is an egg. Weird, you need an egg for bouncy egg experiment. Pfft, odd. Anyways, next thing is vinegar. I'm using white vinegar, but if your parents have a different kind of vinegar, or if they only want you to use a different kind of vinegar, go ahead and use that. It should work the same. Might change it a different color, but you could always post pictures of the different color eggs that you make. I would be fine with that. Please post pictures, please. The last thing that you'll need is some kind of lid or something that you can put on top of your jar or bowl or cup or whatever you're using. All right, so the first thing that you want to do is you need to get your egg into whatever container you have. But you need to be super, super careful while you're doing this, because if your egg cracks, the experiment won't work. So the best way that I've found to do this is to put whatever you're using on its side, and my hand is a little bit too big to go straight in, so I have to be very careful as I put all the way in. All right? You guys have a little bit smaller hands, so I don't think you'll have as much of a problem as I might, but if you have a problem, just go really slow, roll it maybe, do what you have to in order to keep it safe. Okay, now notice I'm being very careful as I bring it up because I don't want it to break. The next part you have to do has to do with the vinegar, and I don't know how many of you have smelled vinegar, but it actually smells really, really bad. So if you want to get your parents or your guardians or an older sibling to do the hard part for you, I would suggest it, because who wants to smell vinegar? Oh, careful with that egg. Okay, so the next part, you're pouring your vinegar. Be careful that it doesn't hurt the egg. Okay, because if you pour it in all right away, you don't know if that vinegar is going to make the egg bounce onto the glass or whatever else you're using. All right, notice that when I filled it up to cover the egg, okay? You want your egg to be completely submerged in the vinegar so that all of the shell comes off, all right? If halfway through your vinegar phase, it should start to float, your egg should. Because what happens is the vinegar starts to break down the calcium carbonate, but that makes little bubbles all the way around your egg in here. And so the bubbles kind of make the egg lift up a little bit, actually. So halfway through, you'll probably have to come back to this egg and turn it over a few times very carefully because you don't want to crack it. And the last part that you're going to do is you will take your nice lid and you will put it on top of your container. I'm going to put it like that. And the reason that you want to do this is so that all of the chemical reaction that the vinegar is causing with the egg stays inside of your little container. Because the more chemicals that are in here, the faster the reaction will work. So if you have a lid on it, it won't take as long to make a bouncy egg, which brings us to the last part. Unfortunately, this is not a very fast experiment. It takes about a day in order for the shell to all come off, but I know that you guys can be patient so that you can play with your cool bouncing egg. So just try and be patient while it works. Once a day has gone by, what you're going to do is you're going to take your egg back out very carefully. I've found using a spoon is pretty easy to get it out. And then you're going to take it over to the sink and you're going to wash it very gently. Make sure that when you're putting your water up, it's not on full high blast because it could pop the membrane. So you don't want that to happen. You want a bouncy egg still. Make sure that you're washing it very gently. Make sure that while the reaction is happening, you're looking for all of the calcium that's coming on top of the vinegar. It will kind of look like white foam. It's pretty cool. I think you'll enjoy watching that part too. And when you go to bounce your egg, boys and girls, this is an important part, okay? Make sure wherever you're bouncing your egg that it will be easy to clean up in case it pops, okay? So I would suggest either doing it in the sink so that you can just spray down if it pops, or maybe your guardians are okay with you using a plate like I'm going to use, or you could go outside and do it. Wherever you do it, make sure that you can clean up easy, okay? All right, and here we come to the last part. I hope that the paper that is on my plate does not pop my egg. Gotta get it all dry so the paper doesn't get hurt either. All right, here we go. Moment of truth. See? The egg bounces. That's so cool, right? Okay, boys and girls, I would love to see all of your bouncy eggs. Show me if your experiment works, and if it doesn't, try it again. I bet that you could do it a lot of times if you wanted to, and if your parents would let you. Okay, it's been really fun. Please comment below. I want to see all of your bouncy eggs.